and opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be at this particular moment while you're tuned into today's Entrepreneur. I am your host, the one and only Andrea James. And I tell you, this morning, God woke me up early. Let me just say thank you, Father God, for waking me up. He woke me up early. Matter of fact, he woke me up 2 times this morning. But he knew that I had to travel this morning and doing another live remote. But let me just say, Mommy, Daddy, ancestors, got an internet radio show. And as always, live your dreams. Never give up. And this is Monday, the last Monday in January. Wow. In 2 days, we're going to be into February. And Black History Month, but we just got to keep it moving. And today, my one and only illustrious longtime friend is Yvette The Funny Lady. Yeah. And she's in the background. I'm doing a live remote. I'm at her place this morning in Paramount. And I had to leave out about 7 o'clock in order to be here, but I'm here this morning, and it's just wow. I want to just tell you, for those of you who have seen Yvette's show live, and ever since the first time I met her, one of the things that I learned about her is that I had to have my Depends on, and I don't wear Depends. But whenever she's on stage, she got the Depends over there. Every time she's on stage, it's just, you don't want to have no accidents because she's so funny. That's why they call her Yvette the Funny Lady. With any further ado, my queen, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, I hear a little feedback. I know we love each other that much. That's why I asked her to go in the other room. So don't mind me today. This is one of my friends. She's one of my biggest supporters. So just rock and roll with us today. And I think I still hear a little feedback. And I'm learning this as we go along. It's just really, really, really exciting for me. I met Yvette through another friend of mine, a friend of ours, a mutual friend. She and I struck up a friendship. Just like that. It was just, we've been just communicating as often as we can. I go and support her whenever I can. And I was just wait to have her on my show today. Yvette, girl.
I'm here.
All right.
I'm here.
Let's get, I still hear feedback. Let's get this ball rolling. You know things that you say, let's get it in, let's get it out. You start
get
whenever
it in
you
and
want
get
to.
it out. What's up? Come on, Claudia. What's up? TC? All of the above. What's up, girl?
It's you, Yvette, all day long. It's you.
No, sometimes me, sometimes you. You woke up in here with them beautiful skinny jeans on looking so cute. I was like, hey, I'm just saying, do they have any in my size? Medium. I'm just saying I'm not right in between them, like not too big and not too small. So I want to go like a medium,
I apologize, y'all. She got me laughing already. That I can't hold a straight face when Yvette is in the house.
Not necessarily in that order. Because sometimes people won't let you live, so you just got to laugh. So that's what I'm saying.
Coming in clear? I hope so.
You are on live and you're telling. We hear you.
Okay, there you go. Wherever Yvette is, when she travels worldwide, so she'll give out her contact information a little bit later. But Yvette The Funny Lady, on your computers, look her up. Yvette The Funny Lady on Facebook, on Twitter.
Twitter and Twitter, I do them all. Social media.
At Yvette The Funny Lady. She will come to where you are. She does bar mitzvahs. She does, I don't know, she does funerals.
I do funerals, divorces. Because the new thing this year is fighting at the funeral. Yeah, they do fights now instead of, everybody being peaceful and having a little fun. At the end, it's a fight. So, I do fights, I'm the one that you get paid to go and knock off that $300-$400 casket spray. You know what I mean? So you make sure that they don't use it for nobody else. And you don't have to put it in the ground. That way you can break the flowers up and everybody can get one. You know what I mean?
She's so funny that the person, I don't mean disrespect, none whatsoever, but the person in the casket gonna sit up and laugh because she's so funny.
Oh, yeah, I've had it happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of funerals,
no way.
I want to be standing up at my funeral. Everybody want to be laying down. I'm tired. I lay down all the time. I want them to stand me up. You know what I mean? I want to be standing there greeting my guests. This is the board.
Okay, I got y'all on live on Facebook here. Let me take my glasses off so I can look cuter, but I can't read. Yvette The Funny Lady is just around the corner, and I didn't even have time to do my hair today, and she does have a little side thing that she does to hair, so I might be sitting in her chair after we finish the show today. But let me just go ahead and not be vain anymore and keep my glasses on. But Yvette, hi. Start. When did you actually realize that
I think I was kicking jokes the day one. Like, as soon as I came out, my mama's stomach. Did I come out the stomach or what? I think she did it. Yeah. But anyway, I was funny from the beginning. It was like, it was mandatory for our family that you be funny, because if you weren't funny, your feelings would get hurt real easy, and so you just learn to be funny fast. And so it was just part of my genetic makeup. My family is a funny family. I think my baby sister is way more funnier than me, but don't ever tell her because she might try to take my job. But, we just come from a line of funny people.
Okay, I might have to ask you to go into another room where there's a door.
Okay, better yet, I'll be black. I'm going to go upstairs. Put a floor between us.
There you go.
I'm getting my morning exercise right now as we speak.
No feedback. We want a good show.
Yeah.
Hi. But she is just totally off the hook. One of her, just the characters that she does, and the fact that I have an internet radio show, I could not have thought of a better person to end out the month of January for me. And she's so genuine with what she does, her comedy. She does clean comedy for those churches and things like that bring her on. But she also does adult comedy too. But one of the taglines that really resonated with me the very first time was she said, get it in, get it out. And today, getting it in, getting out is comedy. but that can mean getting in, getting out for whatever you want it to be. You can add your own little ad lib onto that. Yvette, you still there, sweetie pie?
Let me just say this to you. I do what the people pay for. I can do children. I do whatever the people pay
that's
for.
That's a really bad reception there.
Bath. Where we at now? What we got now? Is that better?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Should I go outside and jump out the window and stand on the tree and hold my hand up?
Miss Andrea, you all sound fine to us. There is no.
You're not coming in clear.
Andrea, can you hear me?
But let's just keep rolling. Yvette the Funny Lady is been in comedy for a long time. Okay, that is better. 1, 2, 3, check.
I'm here.
1, 2, 3, check.
I'm here.
Okay. For those of you who want to call in and have questions, you're going to dial 866-510-9025. Hit star twice, and I'll see you. So if my screen goes blank, that means that I have another board that I have to look at, which I'm just loving what I'm doing. I'm totally where I want to be. And it's just a couple of technical things that you have to learn when you step out on faith in being a host of your own internet radio show. And it's just as Yvette and other people are entrepreneurs, and whatever their element is, it's off the chain. Yvette, you still there with me?
I'm here, baby. I ain't going nowhere.
Okay. I don't hear anything.
I'm here. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you upstairs, but I can't hear you in my ears.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Miss Yvette, the Funny Lady, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay, I'm still.
Okay, Miss Andrea.
I can hear you.
Miss Andrea,
okay, I'm here,
you seem.
Scotty.
Okay, you can hear now. Look, you all have sounded fine since the start of the program. Any feedback you're hearing, that's in your receiver, but you all sound fine coming through the airwaves. So please continue.
Okay, you're even coming in kind of really staticky. I don't know if it's the area. I'm not sure. Yvette, are you still there?
I am still here. He said he can hear us very good and everything.
Okay, is that your voice I hear, Yvette?
Yes, it is.
Okay, there you go. All right. Let's continue to get this in and out. For those who want to call in, if you have any questions, comments, or want to hear in your ear something that Yvette says funny, please dial 866-510-9025 and hit star twice, and I will see you, and you'll be able to make a comment, or even if you want to book her somewhere, you can do that as well. She has some wonderful things that are coming up. Did your family, did they think that you were funny, Yvette?
No, because they thought they were funny. We never labeled it as funny. It was just a state of mind that you had to be in. It wasn't like we knew it was funny. It was just what we did as a family. You know, for entertaining, we would, as they say in the old days, we cap on each other. Everybody was like subject to get it. You know, it was nobody that was like exempt. You know, so it became a way of life. And so we never, even when I started doing comedy, nobody in my family took me serious. I didn't even really take myself serious. One of my friends just happened to tell me, you know, funny, that you are just funny. You need to get on stage. I was like, whatever. So he just kept saying it. Orion Z, one of my great friends to this day. And so he dared me to go on an open mic night, and that was it. Once I got on that stage, I knew it was home. I just knew it was the right place for me. And 20 something years later, I'm still here. I'm standing strong, working. Kind of like paying the mortgage. You know what I mean? Kind of like,
Okay.
Yeah. But
And
it's all
I
good.
apologize. I know you may not be always a morning person. I know sometimes when I call Yvette first thing in the morning, she's not. And some people are like that. They're not morning people. But sometimes that's when you're at your best. Is when you just got to be right on point within a couple of minutes. And but to me, Yvette is, and I'm not going to stop saying this. She's funny at any point, but the later in the day it gets, and as the sun goes down, watch out. Make sure you have your depends on.
Right.
There's some places that she's going to be performing later on this coming up in February. But that's what about school? When you were in school, did the students, your fellow classmates, were you what they consider the class clown?
Yeah, I was definitely labeled a class clown because usually the class clowns are the ones that don't get the real good grades, so they have to kind of like compensate. So, they don't care if you're not the smartest, if you're the funniest. So, I got that.
You're really breaking up again.
He says he can hear. So let's just go on.
Closer to the window.
I am in the window. In the window. Let me shut the door. Maybe that'll help.
Yvette can curse me out, and I'm going to laugh because the way she says it is just a natural. And most comedians, you have to be, it has to be a natural element with you, your the way you think.
I try not to
think
cut
outside
people
the
out.
box.
I try not to give to anybody. Those are just for special people. I gotta love. You have some extra love for you.
A little better.
Little bit better.
Family members. Did you talk about your family members at all, or experiences as you were growing up?
Nobody is exempt, and no situation is exempt. From my mom to my dad, my sisters.
You're getting a lot of static. I apologize, my worldwide listening audience.
Andrea, if you could call back
difficulty.
and try to establish another connection, because the issue is with your phone line. That's where the issue is. I can hear you both fine, and she can hear you fine. So if you're not able to hear her, that's your receiver. So let's try hanging up and then calling right back. Did you hear me, Andrea?
Scotty is saying that I have sound on his end. What we might have to do, I can have Yvette come downstairs and I can put it on speaker.
No,
Yvette, why don't you do that? Just come downstairs and I'll put
Andrea, she can't. I'm sorry. Yvette, the funny lady, see if you can relay that to her, because she obviously is not hearing me.
Yes. Andrea, he says he can hear us fine. I can hear you fine. Everybody can hear us, so it may be in your connection. So why don't you just hang up and we start all over? That is his suggestion.
Are you? Can I? Yvette, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yvette, she could not hear us, so I disconnected her, and I'm gonna call her back. But in the meantime, while we're waiting to get Andrea on, was it difficult for you to break into the comedy business? You talked about it earlier that you're working, but how hard is it to find that type of work?
Initially, for me, it was very hard because I didn't know, and I was going to the comedy clubs, paying to get in the comedy clubs, not knowing that if you're a comedian, you don't have to pay. So I'm just going, paying and trying to beg people to get on stage. And if nobody knows you, it's really, really hard. And rest in peace, Ricky Harris. Long Beach. He was one of the great mentors in my life who actually gave me opportunities to get on stage. And once, another comedian sees you, they can vouch for you. And most of the time, comedians will only vouch for you if they know you're going to be, like, gut-wrenching funny. Like, they will not just be like, oh, yeah, she's funny, and then, because that's on them. So a lot of times you'd have to kind of get somebody to see you. Or like Chocolate Sundays is one of the popular comedy spots. They had what they called first impressions, and you get like 3 minutes to go up and do your best 3 minutes impression and see what the audience thought of you. And, so thank God I started funny. I didn't have to get funny. I just had to figure out the format to stay funny and to keep it consistent, because a lot of comedians, they're funny sometimes and sometimes they're not. So I think for me, finding that level playing ground of being consistent on stage and off stage, unfortunately, is something that I have a problem turning on and off. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes I really need to be serious, but here comes the comedic side of me, and I'm like, okay, stop it, knock it off. You're trying to get a job. These people are not here to audition you for, I'm trying to get a job at McDonald's. And I'm trying to tell jokes. They like, no, she's not ready. But anyway, so to answer your question with just a direct hit, yes, it can be very hard to get on stage and to get stage time. And a lot of times, too, another thing that people do is called bringer rooms. And what they do is they actually have you bring 5 to 10 people. And actually it helps because, a lot of times comedians are only funny around their friends and family. So, your first couple of times out, you want to have that little safety net in place by having some friends and family around you to kind of like laugh at your stuff, because everybody don't know Uncle Pete. You know what I mean? So that's why you got to have your people in place that know you're funny and that are willing to filter in that laughter maybe sometimes when other people might not quite know what you're talking about. So with that respect, it's a tough job, but I love it.
Of course you do, and it shows whether you're on stage or whether you're not. Whatever you do, you're the type of person that your personality just resonates with the people that are in earshot of you. I'm glad I met you. And it's, I remember when you had just a couple of months ago, I don't know if you want to go back a couple of months, the on-air show that you were doing, Yvette The Funny Lady.
That was a great part of my life, Andrea. That was really a big part of my life because doing radio is different. It's different than being on stage. On stage, I can get up there and I can move around and I have the gestures and I have my props. So, all those things kind of help with the funnies. But when you're on radio, sometimes it may be a little bit more challenging. But with radio as we have today, we stream live. So we were actually able to see as we would go along. Sometimes the guests would come and I would forget to tell them that we would be streaming live, and so they would come and they'd be like, wait a minute, they can see me? Yeah, I forgot to tell you they can see you. So, yeah, it's kind of funny, but, yeah.
Well, your whole show, the routine that you have, the different characters that you have, it's just, you always amaze me when I'm in the audience and I get to see how people react to the characters that you bring out.
When you say your routine, that's funny because a lot of times as comedian we do have somewhat of a set routine. Mine is like all over the place. You'll never ever get the same show twice. I mean, I'll use the different jokes, but I may spread them around. I may not use this or that at that certain point that I would normally use it. So what I'm saying is that a lot of times, I remember a famous comedian, Cat Williams, a great friend of mine. He was kind of like, excuse me, for lack of a better word, booed off stage because he had already done his set and he had done it on TV. So sometimes when you go live and in person like that and worldwide, nationwide, and everybody sees your set, so sometimes when it's time for them to pay and come and see you, they want to see something different, right?
Right.
So what happens is, people start saying, oh, they do the same thing. You do the same thing over and over. Well, it's just like your new album. You buy an album of my era, Teddy Pendergrass. I still got Teddy Pendergrass. I'm not throwing Teddy Pendergrass away. I'm going to play it again and again and again. And so that's what happens with my jokes. Sometimes people will, they'll see a certain joke and they'll be like, oh, funny lady, you didn't do my joke. You didn't do my joke. And I'll be like, what? And, so the audience, they do have favorite jokes that they like to hear. So with that being said, I'm not getting rid of none of my jokes. I might retire them a little bit, but they can come in and out that bag. You hear what I'm saying?
In and out. Get it in, get it out.
In and out.
Well, one of the
Get it
characters
in.
I like is when you do Fantasia. She, because you totally take the people off guard, and that's another reason why you have to have your depends on.
That's right. I met Fantasia on the cruise. We did the Tom Joyner morning cruise, and that baby, she is such a special person. I couldn't even do it because I didn't even want to. I just was like, you know what? I'm not doing no Fantasia mask. That girl way pretty now. That's what money will do for you. Money will hook you up. I can't wait to get my situation straight. As soon as I get it straight, I'm getting these eyeballs tapered, get them where they can open them, real good, where you can really see everything. I'm talking about I'm going to get it hooked up. I'm going to get this hairline colored, get this mustache waxed. There's so much on there, Andre. I think I'm going to sell it to the wig shop. I got so much hair on. I did. I'm just saying. Get rid of it, ladies. Get rid of it. My sister's one of them ones always talking about, well, God gave it to me. No, God give it, and the beautician take it. Go over there and get waxed. Go over there and let Chong Lee wax it off. I'm just saying, you sit up there want to be talking about God gave it to me. No. My pastor told him at church last Sunday it was going to be Men's Day in 2 weeks, so he asked all the women on the mother's board to please, on the mother's board, can y'all please shave your beards and your mustaches off, because it's intimidating the men. The men is intimidated by them big old thick mustaches and beards. I'm just saying, save them down. You can get good money from them. You laughing,
I
but
apologize, y'all.
No, it's true. You ever been in the supermarket and seen that lady with that super thick beard, and you just think, damn, if I could get to that with that wax machine, I would shave it with a lawnmower, whatever it takes. I'm just saying. Let it go. I think you better let it go. What you say?
Oh,
Looking back and
how long?
It's worth it.
How long?
I've been getting mine straight on, huh?
How long?
I've been getting my mustache straight. How long have I been doing it? I said I'm going to get mine done with the string, and you talking about hurt? It feel like they pulling them straight out of the other area. I'm just saying.
Yvette, you got me crying.
No, you got your depends, because I got them.
I got my depends
on.
I don't wear depends, but with Yvette, I got to have them on.
No, you can sit on the chair.
I don't want to ruin the beautiful couch that I'm sitting on in his living room. But for those who, if you have any questions or concerns or just want to ask Yvette the Funny Lady.
What's the number one more time? If somebody on this Facebook Live better call in right now. Get off your phone. Cause you know we don't have no house phone.
It's area code 866 510 9025.
9025. One more time for the people like me who's dyslexical. I mean, they transpose it backwards.
866 510
5. See, people like you mess everybody up. You said 5, 510. All that. Start over and just go straight through.
Okay, 866-510-9025.
9025. Okay, we got you.
Yes.
We got you.
And you do star if you have a comment or have something that you want to say. But it's my eyes are already read that it's your whatever comes out of your mouth, even if you're speaking in another language.
Call me.
Oh, yeah.
My baby daddy called. He didn't even call.
Right after we get off the show, I'm going to call your baby daddy and tell him to give you a call. He was asking about you over the weekend. He said, "How my baby mama?" I said, "She fine. She's going to be on my show Monday morning."
I want to know why he ain't sending no more child support. This child is 26 years old. She still need to be supported. What's up, nephew? I see you watching.
Well, he got he's on a fixed income right now, but
well, I can fix it too. I can
money.
I don't know why people be calling income fixed. It ain't no dang such thing as no fixed income. Any income is income. Don't you hate when people got baby teeth at the bottom, Andre? I got like baby teeth at the bottom. All the other ones real big and bulky. I was just looking at myself as I was on Facebook Live, and I was just wondering why these teeth got to be so little at the bottom. And then I hold the top teeth hostage with my lip, like they nothing there. You see how you can just like kind of hold it like that? It's like you holding your teeth.
You got to have the little teeth, so when you're biting down on something, you're not really biting down so it don't hurt. I ain't going too far with that. I'm going to let you do that. That's your job.
Some people said they ain't got no income. They got broke income. I'm just saying. Come on.
B-R-O-C-K, B-R-O-K-E, Baroque. Okay. We're not broke up in here. Matter of fact, this is the year, and I say happy 365, staying in the black by any legal means necessary, new year. And I mean,
see, that's where you messed up everything.
Financially.
You said legally, that messed up everything. I'm going to stay in the black, but I don't know if it's going to be legal because, you know, I am. Sometimes I have to work underneath the table.
Well, if that's the case, everybody grown.
Yeah.
Everybody grown. And I can't tell people what to do, but when you're grown, that means you over 21 and you're legal. You can do whatever it is you want to do. And that means Yvette has, like I was saying a little earlier, she has two types of shows. One is, and I think she tuned out. I don't see her on my board right now. She has a clean show for those people who want to hire her for a clean show. And she's just as funny. You won't miss a beat. If she is if you hire her to do a clean show, you won't miss anything with her doing a clean show. It's just she's still funny by any legal means necessary. And I think we lost her. She might have to sign back in, hopefully. But I don't know if this would be a particular moment. Usually about this time we go to a station break, but I haven't seen any indication yet that we're going to a station break this morning. Okay. There she is.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, there you go. Yeah, my girl. You back. You back.
I'm
back.
Back
live. You back in black.
I love it.
And that's one of the things Yvette just rolls with the punches. Have you ever, what's been your most difficult have you ever had any hecklers? And if so, what did you do?
I love hecklers. Hecklers make the dream work. You know, it's like the teamwork. They make the dream work. I love hecklers because, you know, sometimes people just want to be a part of something, and so I have to let them be. I charge them for it, but I let them be a part of it. And when I say I charge them, I mean I charge them because I tear that ass up if I can just say that. Because, you know, ass is in the Bible. It's like a donkey, you know what I mean? So I'm not cussing.
Okay.
I don't cuss on Mondays no more.
Only Monday morning.
Only Monday.
Between
Only
8 and
Monday
9
morning.
when you on when you on
Right.
Today's Entrepreneur.
Right, I don't do no cussing. You know that. You know I don't do no cussing. I
Now, I was
don't do
telling
no
the
cussing.
audience that you do both clean show and you
Yeah,
do
clean. In fact, can I tell you this? On Saturday, February the 3rd, I'm going to be at the Comedy Union called First Fridays with none other than Pastor Lester Berry. He is one of the profound clean comedians in the business, and I'm going to be working with him doing a clean show. So, you know, I try to keep enough shows on deck that, you know, some of my friends would like to come to a clean show. I can do a clean show too. Or if, you know, because I got friends that like adult comedy. That's the bottom line. People like adult comedy, and, you know, so I give them what they like. Whatever they like is what I give them.
So you roll with the punches.
Man, I am the punch. What you mean roll with the punch?
Okay, and let me ask you this then, since you roll with the punches. Do you write your own jokes?
My jokes is like they're situations. They're not really jokes. They're just like situations that come up that I need to speak on. Some people don't want to speak on them. I need to speak on them. Yeah, I don't play. I write my own stuff. Nobody helps me, but every now and then a family member, like I said, they're all so funny. My sister Brenda, she's always throwing some jokes. My sister Tony. Now, one sister, Tanita, she's pretty serious. She don't really get down like that. You don't know what she's thinking, but she might sniggle or laugh a little bit, but she's not going to just be on no full hardcore, yeah, sweet as gold, but she don't be doing all that. So it's just like, you know, it's according to what you hear and what you see. I base my comedy on real stuff, like real life situations, you know.
Say, for example, if you're being a big girl, or which means that you have more love to give with
I don't have
when
a
you're
problem
standing
with
up on stage.
You know, I don't have a problem with being a big girl. What I have a problem with is people that want to hug me like I'm a big girl. You know, start out with their arms way stretched real wide. Like, no, hell no. Start out small. Give me like a small hug. Like, start out small and then stretch your arms out. It's going to start out real wide.
I got my arms stretched out.
Yeah. Like, you know, like no, don't do that. Don't do that. So all I'm saying is just kind of like ease it in. Ease the little hug in. And then some big girls, they, you know, people want to call us big. I'm not really that big. I'm just kind of fluffy. You know what I mean? Fluffy. Not extremely, you know what I mean? I'm medium. I already told you that I'm right in between. 5 more pounds this way.
When you say fluffy, that I immediately brought to mind the pom-pom puff balls that you wear sometimes. That in the orange that pops into my head.
Yeah, I kind of got one now.
Apple
you know,
puff.
I went ahead and kind of natural because it works, you know, especially when I take my braids out. Y'all know, y'all seen it on stage. When you take them braids out, it's a whole nother different scenario. As I say on stage, sometimes people don't know when it's time to take them out. And you know what that means. I'm just give you one example. I'm going to give you one example when you know it's time to take them out, huh? When you can take the part that's on your left side and move it to your right side without taking your braids out, yeah, it's time to take the braids out. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's time to take your braids out.
Yes, that's that when you do that particular character in your routine, and sometimes you start off that way with the beginning of your routine. You got your audience that's right there in the room with you. You got them at that point.
Yeah,
you got
them. I got them.
And it's just you go from there.
That's one thing I don't play. When I go on stage, and it's so funny. Because when I go on stage, it's like another entity. I always kind of like categorize myself and the funny lady as two different entities, because when I go on stage, I absolutely do not understand the funniness that comes from my spirit, from my soul, from my mouth. I don't understand it. It amazes me. And you know how sometimes when I see people like literally in stitches and just, you know, going crazy, you know, I think of my mom, because sometimes, you know, I would use profanity, and it was really hard for me to use profanity in front of my mom. But I explained to her, you know, you like going on those nice trips with me, don't you? You like going to London, out of town and out of the country, and, you know, all those things and all those nice gifts and perks. This is my job. This is what I do. So when I would use profanity, you know, she would be kind of like annoyed. But as time went on and she, you know, thought about the perks and all the quirks that she got to go with it, she became a little bit more comfortable with it. But what she told me is that she would not listen to me per se, but she would look around the room and she would see all the laughter that I was bringing to my audience, and seeing those people just go in, for lack of a better word, just going crazy. And so that's how she was able to, you know, that's how she was able to really, you know, get past the profanity. And I soon learned that my mom and dad was off limits, because my dad would always tell me, don't get up there joking about me, because you know I know stuff about you. And he would have been the type that would have really came up there and took the mic and start telling personal stuff that ain't funny.
That, I think we have, hold that note, we have a caller on the line, 626 area code, and the last four digits are 4192. Good morning. Welcome. How you doing? Welcome to today's Entrepreneur with my guest, Yvette The Funny Lady. You got a question?
Hi, Funny Lady. How are you?
Hey,
can you hear me?
I can
know
hear
who
you.
that is. Yolanda Williams.
Good.
Thank you for tuning in, my queen. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I have a question for the Funny Lady. You are a professional, correct?
I am professional in every aspect of the word. I get professional prices. I don't do friends and family unless they pay me. So, yes, I try to keep the professional for business for me, yes.
Okay, well, I have a question. And the question is, we were having a discussion last week about a couple of comedians who are really funny. And one of the things that I said was that I think people can be funny without the profanity. And my nephew says, yeah, but not really. The funniness is the profanity. And I was listening to Kevin Hart last night. And Kevin Hart is one of my favorite comedians. I think he is so funny. And he was doing a show called What Now? Well, some of the things that he said during the show were funny, but it got to be a little much. It got to be a little much. And I think that people can be funny without all of the profanity and all of the lewd conduct. I think it's okay. I think people can be funny, but we've become the kind of audience that says in order for someone to be funny, we have to talk about vulgarity and we have to use the profanity. For me, I'm the kind of person that I'll click it off after a while. I'll click it off.
Okay. So let me address that for you. I think it's like, for me, when I first started doing comedy, because that was what I was accustomed to doing, quote unquote, black comedy clubs, was that you had to use profanity. And I would go sometimes and try to do clean comedy, but it's just not what the people wanted at that particular venue. So I feel like you have to pick what time and when you're going to use that kind of comedy, because the way that things are set up now, there's a room for everything. There's rooms for clean. There's room for adult comedy. It's like whatever.
Okay, and it works.
So let me finish that thought. Somebody just kind of beat in. But what I was saying was, and when I first started, I couldn't get to that point where I felt like I had to do clean comedy until this one guy just kept challenging me. He says, "You can't do clean comedy anyway." I said, "What do you mean I can't do it?" And so it was really, really hard for me to try to do it, because I had never done it. So I find out for myself that there's places and times for all of it, and it fits in. Just like you don't like it, there are people that absolutely love it, who wouldn't have it any other way. They wouldn't even pay for it any other way. So it's like, you have to pick and choose your fight. You can't go to a fight where somebody's got a gun and you only got a knife. So you got to pick out what's going to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of comedians have now started to specialize in clean comedy, and which we are taking over. Now, don't get me wrong, I will still do my dirty stuff too, if that's what they want. So especially now the churches are getting into comedy, and I've done even 1,400 high school students, San Bernardino High School, 1,400 high school students. So I just think that as a professional comedian, I think you should be able to do whatever you're paid to do. I do women 75-year-old birthdays for people's moms, birthday, weddings, divorces. I mean, I even go to your house. Whatever comedy you want is whatever you're paying for. That's what I'm gonna do. I even do prisons. I've been to prisons with Michael Collier, one of my great friends, Michael Collier. I've done the women's prison, the men's prison. So I mean, I have a great, plethora of places and things that I do, and I love being able to be versatile as a professional.
Okay. Well, you've answered my question.
Somebody made a comment. Go ahead, Yolanda. Did she answer your question? Thank you for your question.
She did answer my question.
Yeah, somebody.
So with that being said, Yolanda, excuse me, Andrew.
No, go ahead.
With that being said, I would love to invite you. Are you in the LA area?
No.
What area are you in?
I'm in Dallas, honey.
You in Dallas? Hey, ain't nothing wrong with Dallas. You know what? You can tune in. We do a live stream on some of them, so I'm definitely gonna ask Andrew to get your information so that when I live stream some clean comedy, that you'll be able to enjoy and sit back and not worry about. That's another thing, being a professional. If you're hired to do clean comedy, that person should not have to worry about a slip-up. I've done clean comedy at churches with people, and it's supposed to be totally clean. And when I look up somebody that said drop the F-bomb and be talking about, excuse me, Lord, Jesus, you know my heart. No. Mm-hmm. If it's clean, it's clean. It's not even, you shouldn't even do anything that even, like, some people will allude to different subjects and, without saying it, or instead of saying breast, say titty, whatever. So it's just clean is clean. That's the bottom line.
Right. Right.
Londa,
And
I want to thank you for your question, and thank you for listening. And
I
looks like we
appreciate
have about maybe a minute or two left. So if there's
Don't say that. We're going to buy another hour. We're going to have to buy another hour.
well, okay, let's go there.
That means tell you where I'm going to be at.
There's some things coming up in the month of February, Valentine's Day, and I really got to be there for that, because there might even be some people in the audience that are breaking up. We have about 5 minutes left. Thank you, Scotty, which is bringing us to the top of the hour. In the audience, there may be people that are breaking up, and they may even ask you. They may even ask you to do the breakup for them. Wow, how about that?
Right now,
I'm not giving nobody no ideas.
For me, Valentine's Day is always, every time, I don't care what dude I'm dating, they always try to break up with me. Like that week of Valentine's Day, like right now, my dude done tried to break up with me 3 times this week, and I'm like, what did I do? He talking about, why you walking so hard in the room? I'm like, dude, no. I mean, anything that he can think of to break up. So I'm not letting him break up this time. I'm getting me some candy, I don't care if I get a bag of oranges. I'm getting me something for Valentine's Day. You hear me?
Let me ask you this. What advice would you give a young comedian looking to get into business, what to watch out for? Advice?
I would tell them, the advice that I would give them is to get on as many stages as you can, and don't worry about the financial part, because if you're gonna do good at it, you're gonna start off with no pay. Most of the time it's no pay. Don't worry about the pay. Hone your craft and get it in and get it out.
Don't leave the 9 to 5. What about them?
Don't leave your day job. Finding a mentor is
keep
great.
Their money in the savings account. What about them finding a mentor to help them?
Yes, I'm not even a mentor. Hire me. They don't have to do a mentor. Hire me. I teach comedy. I teach comedy styles. Like myself, I do prop comedy. Some people like to do political stuff. Some people like to do knock-knock jokes. Whatever it is, you have to find what's your style, get in your lane, and stay in your lane. You can't be all over the place trying to figure it out. Get your 3-minute set, horn that, perfect that, and just stay on stage. Stay relevant. Let people see you. Get on those stages.
Which is, they get up there and they get rid of that stage fright. And thank you for that question.
You're never going to get rid of that. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. You will never get rid of it. And it's actually good, because when you have your stage fright, that's what brings your A game, because you use that energy to turn it to positive energy. And what happens is, once you get that positive, that butterflies, and you release them, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. So keep your stage fright and get it in and get it out.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, let me ask you this. Please give out your social media and business contacts. And again, if you want to talk about the shows that are coming up, and we will wrap it up with that. And I'm just, thank you so much. That I know the stock of the pins went up this hour, but give us those.
Let me give my website information.
Go ahead.
You can check me out on thefunnylady.com. That's my website. You can also hit me on Yvette O'Biffley. I use my government name because I ain't nobody looking for me, and I ain't hiding from nobody. So I use my government name, Yvette, Yvette, last name Obiefule. I got that from my ex-husband. I felt like I paid for it, and I kept it. So I use that name as much as I can. That's right. Yvette O'Biffley on Facebook, and at The Funny Lady on Twitter, and all the other accounts is just at The Funny Lady. So you can just search on social media, and you're going to find something. Don't be amazed, and don't be trying to judge me on what you see on there, because it's just social media. It's what I do. You know what I mean?
I want to. Oh yeah, it's and being in comedy, one of the things is sometimes being raw. You get paid to be raw, and that's what
you
you
get paid
are.
to do it all. It's like I said to the other lady. You have to figure out what they want. It's just like anything else. If you go to the ice cream counter and you want chocolate ice cream, you want chocolate ice cream. If you don't like chocolate ice cream, you're not going to pick that. So don't be coming up to the raw clubs expecting us to do clean when we're doing something else. Find out a clean comedy room and go there, because that's what that's for. Don't get mad at the comedian because that style is not what you think it should be. I think all of them are gifts, and when I do my cussing, I say it's just seasoning on the jokes. You know how your mama put a little black pepper and a little seasoned salt? That's what it is for me. Because if you take the profanity out of my jokes, they still funny. Funny is funny.
Thank you for listening to my viewing audience. Thank you for those who called in that were silent. Thank you for the ones that called in and made a comment. Join us next week. Same time, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you missed this show or want to hear it again or any other of my live broadcasts that have gone to podcast, you can go to www.blacktalkradionetwork.com.
Yeah.
Look up today's Entrepreneur, but look up the podcast. And you can listen from my first show, October 17th, all the way up until this day, which is January 30th, 2017. There's going to be a couple of, and we thank you, and it sounds like we are out. This is Andrea James, today's Entrepreneur. And in closing, I want to say, break the chains of poverty, create bonds of prosperity, stay in the black, 365 by any legal means necessary. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see ya.
That's